Hello friends, welcome, happy Sunday. It's so nice to have you all here in the I Am Yoga virtual experience of Instagram Live. My name is Lindsay. Sure there's some familiar faces and maybe some new ones as well, so great to have you all here. Before we get started, I'd just like to say that, and I don't need to say this, you already know that this is your practice. So I'm not able to see your body. I can't give, interactive adjustments. So if we're moving or flowing or doing anything that doesn't feel quite right, know that you can take breaks. You can modify as you need to. Whatever you need to do, this is your practice today. All right? With that said, I'm just going to have one quick look and make sure everyone is kind of logging on and things are looking good. Great. So I see a few people have joined. If you have props or anything like that, of course you go ahead and grab them. We're going to start today more towards kind of like the back of our mat, sitting onto our heels. If you have a cushion or a pillow that you'd like to use to make this more accessible, please go ahead. And then we're going to flip our palms to face up in that manner of receiving. We'll close our eyes. And it's always a beautiful thing to take the first few moments of practice to go inside. And this very much is an internal practice, right? It's fine-tuning our awareness from really busy external consciousness of our everyday to a more deeply connected sense of presence, where we can really show up to our lives. This is what we all want for ourselves, to be able to be in our life, to show up in our life in every single moment as our best self. And our practice enables us to do that. It really does. We all know this. Anyone who practices yoga knows that this is the magic that arises as a result of the work we do together. So starting here, eyes closed, can you begin to connect with your breath? If possible, we're breathing in and out through the nose. With each inhale, feel the energy rise up through the spine as if moving through to the crown of the head, lifting and expanding. And as you exhale, feel that same energy traveling down the spine into the base, connecting and grounding. Let the breath become a little longer, more full with each breath cycle. Finally coming into a place of equanimity where the breath is calm and consistent. And we know that the breath will change as we practice together, depending on how we're flowing and the postures that we're holding. The breath will change within the container of the belly and the lungs, right? But it's always there. It's our best friend in our practice, our breath. So let's make that a focus today. In the spirit of the energy that we create together, we create energy in this practice. The offering today is a karma yoga offering. So karma yoga is one of several paths that you can take towards realizing yoga oneness, right? The oneness of yoga. There's lots of different paths that you can take. And one of them is the karma yoga path, the path of action. So can you offer up the action of your practice today? Whatever it is we're doing, can you offer it up? Can you give it away to someone who you know could really use it? That offering of energy, of support, so that as we move, as we flow, as we hold postures, even if it's challenging, can we also hold that person in our heart and know that we're just giving it all up to them. So let that be the fuel for your practice today. Draw that person into your heart. Join the palms together at the heart. Just envisioning, sending out this loving energy of our moving meditation to that person. Let's confirm that intention with a single Om together. Inhale. Let the eyes open, let the hands drop down by the sides. Let's start by rolling the shoulders a few times. Feel that the shoulders can move not just in one direction, right? They move forward, up, back, and then down. So as you cycle through a few of these, as we juicy up the shoulders, can you feel that full kind of range of motion? And we'll go in both directions. I always like to start my practice with a little bit of joint prep. I do more of this. If we had more time, we'd do this for a little bit longer. But we'll touch on this in our warm-up today. Just a little bit of everything to juicy it up. Nice. Flip the fingers towards the knees. Come up off of your seat for a moment until the whole of your palms are planted on your mat or on the floor. And then we'll start to, with all 10 fingers actively pressing down, we'll lean back a little bit, as if we're peeling the palm of our hand up off the floor, little by little, until the thumbs get a little bit light. At that point, we'll draw little circles with the thumbs. Warming the tissues in the hands and in the fingers. We carry a lot of weight, right, in the hands and the wrists in our practice. So let's prepare. Finish by peeling 8 fingers back, one at a time. The pads will lift up off the floor. You can give a little shake. Make loose fists, grooves of the knuckles point towards one another, elbows point out, and then come down onto the floor so the front of your hand and forearm are touching. Make your fist a little bit tighter here, and then start to straighten the arms. Move towards straight until you feel your point of initial resistance, that's your edge point, and then release back down. And do this 2 more times. That extension of the wrist. One more. Feeling the opening at the front of the hand and wrist. And then bend the elbows to let the grip go and come on up. Fingertips out to the sides. Inhale, get really tall. And as you exhale, let the right ear come over towards the right shoulder. Breathe into that beautiful stretch in the left side of the neck. Let the chin fall down toward the chest. Roll through center, over to the other side, and then left ear to left shoulder. Breathe into the right side stretch of the neck. And then roll down to center one more time each side. Just a breath as we hold. Right ear to right shoulder, circle down a final time, other side. Left ear, left shoulder. Come back, chin to center, and then lift the chin up off the chest. Come back to neutral. Onto the hands and onto the knees. Lift the feet up off the ground and a couple of rolls through the ankles. Both directions. And then feet down. Let's roll the spine forward and back, feeling the articulation of each and every disc of the spine. So we'll start in neutral, gazing down just beyond the fingertips to center. And then we'll start by tipping the tailbone up toward the ceiling. And feel this, one vertebra at a time, kind of the belly drops, the chest drops between the arms, the sternum lifts forward and slightly up, gaze up. As you exhale, chin comes to chest, feel the rounding at the back of your neck. Press through the palms, continue to move through the upper spine, mid-spine, tailbone drops. How slow can you move through this? 2 more times on your own. feeling the movement. You can close your eyes and map this out within your own body. We'll come to a neutral spine. We're going to wag our tail. We'll call it wag the tail. Very specific Sanskrit term, wag the tail posture. Hips over to the right, gaze over to the right, and feel the lateral stretch through the left side. And then wag your tail over to the left, gaze over left shoulder, feel the roundness now through the right side body. And then just one more time each way. Moving with breath through the lateral side stretch. And then back to center. Let's tuck the toes under, feet about hips width apart. Lift the hips up and back and do whatever you need to do to make an adjustment and find your first downward facing dog class today. Look towards the hands. Spread the palms evenly. Pressing. And then pushing as if your mat away so the arms strengthen. Let the head go. Can you wrap your triceps down, send your inner biceps forward. Create broadness through the upper back as the head continues to release. Maybe nod yes and no here a couple times. And lift the hips up and back. Elongate the spine. The knees could be a little bent here if you need to. And then drive the heels toward the earth. Whether they touch or not doesn't matter, but send the energy down through the feet, through the heels. Spread the toes, wake up your feet. Last breath here. Soften the knees. Look forward and take as many steps as you need to come to the front of your space. We'll have feet hips width apart. Inhale the fingertips to the shins. Find the chest parallel to the earth. So you're coming up about halfway. Send the tailbone back, crown of the head reaches forward. Feel the traction of the spine, right? That elongation. And then as you exhale, you're going to fold forward. Take the left hand to center, just in front of the feet, and take the right hand to the low back sacrum. Inhale, extend forward to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, you're going to twist the upper chest and gaze over the right shoulder. It might be beneficial to bend the left knee a little bit here to gain some leverage as we're just starting to warm up the body. You're gazing over the right shoulder, and can you hold your gaze to one place? So starting to bring in that drishti practice, that gazing practice that helps to steady the mind. And then as you release, unwind, fingertips to the shins one more time. Inhale, find that flat back elongation at the same time. Exhale as you fold right hand just in front of the toes at center. Left hand to low back. Inhale, crown of the head, reaching forward. Exhale, we're twisting left this time. Maybe a bit of a softening through the right knee. As you twist open, mainly through the rib cage, you're going to feel the twist more at center, and then of course the shoulders and the gaze will follow beyond the left shoulder. Keep the breath moving. And then release. Inhale, fingertips to shins one more time. It's called Ardha half Uttanasana. And then exhale, fold. Let it all go. Be heavy through the arms, the head, and the torso. Feel the energy of your feet grounding down, and then one vertebra at a time. Chin stays close to chest. Can you roll up the spine? Little by little. And then as you come all the way up, interlace the fingers behind the back. Draw the knuckles down and a lift of the chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale, soften, and then switch the clasp of your fingers. Inhale, draw knuckles down, open chest. Exhale, soften. And then right at the very front of our mats, let's take the feet close together, toes facing forward. Hands down by the sides. Close the eyes here for a moment here. Drawing back into your heart. Again, a reminder, this karma yoga practice today, this offering of energy to someone who needs it. Anytime we find ourselves attaching to the results of this practice, let's give it up. Let's let it go and send it back out to that person. Opening the eyes. We're going to inhale. As you reach the arms up, reach around, circle through the shoulders, and then touch the palms. As you exhale, open the arms, almost circling around a little through the shoulders. As you come all the way forward, release the head. Inhale, come halfway to your flat back. Exhale as fingertips come to the floor, lunge the right leg back, drop the right knee to the ground. So there's a little bit of space widthwise between your left foot and your right knee. Plant the right hand. Inhale, left arm all the way up, a little bit of a twist. As you exhale, you're going to thread left arm under right arm. Inhale, come up. We'll go one more time. Thread it through, all the way back up. Hold, gazing to left thumb. Take one big breath, and then exhale to unwind. Plant the hands and step back to plank. Holding here, our first plank pose. This is actually an arm balance. We don't often think of plank as an arm balance, but it is. So let's start to prep here. Feel the weight of the body being held by the arms, by the strength of the legs and the toes. Can you squeeze your hands and your feet as if toward one another? Feel a bit of a tremble through your core. And then let the knees go. Shoulders come slightly beyond the wrist creases. Inhale, lift the head in line with the spine. And then can we exhale, lower just halfway. And then inhale, push up. 3 more like that. Halfway, pressing the palms all the way up. 2 more. Halfway, and then up. Last one, halfway. Squeeze in your elbows to sides of the rib cage. Press up. And then this time slow all the way to the floor. Point the toes. Make sure the hands are more towards the low ribs. Elbows are still drawing into center. Inhale, press through the tops of the feet. Lift the sternum, shoulders, and head. Holding here. Deep breath. Bhujangasana Cobra. And then soften. This time press up. Move all the way through table. Sit back to your heels and take a breath to release in downward facing hero. And then come back through table, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. And in this downward facing dog, we're going to lift the right leg, bend the knee, and start to draw circles with that right knee to juicy into the right hip. A couple times in one direction, a couple of times in the other direction. Foot down and then switch. Left leg up, bend the knee, and then start to draw your little circles. Both directions. Nice. Finish both feet on the ground. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. You can step or give a little hop to the front feet together. Inhale, come halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms around as you rise up. Move through the shoulders, touch the palms. Exhale, circle back through the shoulders. Connect the palms at the heart. Pranam. Inhale, circle the arms around. Reach up, look up. Exhale, opening, come all the way through. Head releases. Inhale, come halfway. Exhale, lunge the left leg back. Drop the back knee to the ground. And then plant the left hand to the floor. Remember, there's a little bit of distance hip-wise between left knee, right foot. Inhale, reach the right arm up into your twist. Exhale, come through. Thread that right arm under left. And then inhale up. One more time, moving through this twisting action, through the rib cage. Hold in your twist, gaze up. Land your gaze to one place. And then release your twist. Right hand comes to the floor, step back to plank again. From here, you can stay as we were before with the knees on the ground, or you can keep your knees lifted. Tip your shoulders a little bit forward, inhaling. Exhale halfway. Inhale, push up. 3 more. Chaturanga push-ups. That's 2. This is 3. Last one is 4. Nicely done. Come all the way slowly to the floor. Point the toes. Slide the hands back towards low ribs. Elbows still hugging the midline. As you spread the toes, press through the tops of the feet. Let the front of your pelvis be heavy. And then lift your shoulders. Head. Hold for 1 full breath. And then gently release. Push up through table. Sit all the way back towards the heels. Take 1 full breath in downward facing hero. And then back through table. Tuck the toes. Downward facing, and this time we'll hold in stillness. Can you find as much weight balanced at the back of your posture as you have in the front? So feel the hands, the arms, the legs, and the feet equally energized. 1 more breath. Start to exhale, bend the knees, look forward. You can give a little hop or a step to the front. Inhale, come halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms around as you rise up, reach up. Exhale, circle back, around, pranam. Right at the front of the mat. This will be a little bit different. Inhale, reach around, look up. Exhale, opening the arms, come all the way forward, head releases. Inhale, come halfway. Exhale, hands down. We're gonna step back this first one to plank, and then lower with the knees to the ground all the way to the belly. Modified chaturanga. Inhale, point the toes, cobra. Exhale all the way through table. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog, just 2 breaths. Last cycle. As you exhale, on empty, bend the knees, look forward, and then give a little hop or a step. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Circle the arms around as you inhale, you're rising up. Exhale, circle back, around, pranam. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, folding all the way. Inhale, half. This time you can step or you can hop back chaturanga. Modify if you need to. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find the breath. Remember, this is as if a moving meditation. Okay? Breath and presence. Start to bend the knees, look forward. Hop or step. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Feet together if they're not already. We're going to inhale, bend the knees. Utkatasana. Join the palms. Right away, land your gaze to your thumbs. And then sit back. Lift the sternum just a touch. Press the outer edges of your pinkies toward one another. 1 more cycle. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Turn the left heel in, step the right foot toward the right thumb. Ground the outer edge of the back heel and bend the front knee as you rise. Both legs are strong. Warrior 1. Land the palms, land the gaze first. And then feeling your shoulders start to stack more over your hips. Crown of the head lifting up. Take 1 more breath. And then hands to the floor. Step back to plank and lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Turn the right heel in, step the left foot forward. Ground outer edge of back foot. Bend front knee. Both legs are alive. As you rise, join the palms, land your gaze. Anytime we're in a static asana or posture where we're not moving, can you pay a little more attention to your breathing? This is it. Last one. Hands to the floor. Step back to plank and lower through. All the way back to downward facing dog. At any point, your downward facing dog could be downward facing hero. We'll keep the energy of it by arms staying straight in downward facing hero. So you still have your downward facing dog, hands and arms. You're just sitting back for a little bit of extra relief. Wherever you are, last breath. We're starting to bend the knees on empty. Look forward, hop or step. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, Utkatasana. Exhale to stand, Samastitihi, all the way through. Inhale, bend the knees, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, right foot steps forward, rise, warrior one. Exhale, step back, lower Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps forward, rise. Exhale, finish it off on your own. We'll meet in downward facing dog or downward facing hero. And as we see that the practice is progressively becoming a little spicier, and we let go of any kind of opinion, any kind of attachment, just give it up. Give up this energy of your moving meditation to that person who needs it. You have it to give, send it out. Last breath, start to bend your knees, look forward. Make your way to the front. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your knees, sit back. Utkatasana. Exhale to stand. Samastitihi. We're going to go one more time all the way through. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, fold. Full exhale. Full inhale, halfway. Keep breathing. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, right foot forward, rise, warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, rise. Exhale, finish it off on your own. A few breaths in stillness here. Bend the knees, look forward, give a little hopper step. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, Utkatasana. Exhale to stand, Samastitihi. Feet together, a little different. Inhale, bend the knees, Utkatasana. Hands to heart for this one. Inhale, feel a little bit of that spinal extension. And then exhale, we're going to twist to the right, but not hook or hold yet. Inhale back to center. Exhale, little twist to the right. Back to center. Little bit of a twist. This time we'll hold. Hook the left elbow to the outer right knee, thigh. Look down. Inhale, crown of the head is reaching out beyond the toes. As you exhale, you're pressing the palms, twisting through the spine and gazing over the right shoulder. Try to hold your gaze. Remember, we're training the brain as well as the body and the breath. Look down for balance. Core weight down into your right foot. Lunge the left leg back. So if you didn't land it right away, take a moment, adjust to your lunge legs, and hook your twist. Straighten that left leg, so press back through left heel. Heavy the hips a little and keep pressing your palms to open your chest. One more cycle. Start to unwind. Your fingertips frame your front foot. Inhale, extending forward through the crown of the head, spinal elongation first. And then exhale, move towards straightening your front leg. If you can, you're peeling the sole of your right foot up off the floor as you descend your back heel down. For some of us, our hamstrings are very tight, so the foot could stay on the floor and you could even have a bit of a bend in the knee if needed. And then once we're here, we're going to inhale right up onto our fingertips. One time, feel the full expression of length through the torso. And then exhale, let's fold into this, let the head go. There's a little bit of a sensation here that the ball joints of the back toes are dragging towards the front heel, and the front heel is dragging towards the back toes. So activating the inner thighs. This is the scissoring action that we talk about sometimes. Lift your gaze, and then start to plant the right foot if it wasn't planted already. We're going to stand down into the right foot, walk the fingertips forward about a foot or so beyond the front toes, and then launch off the back leg. So let's first find our balance here, standing into the right foot, up onto the fingertips, and that left leg extending back. Then can we balance in left fingertips, take the right hand to the low back sacrum. Feel that there's a flat kind of level shelf there. Inhale, crown of the head reaches forward, come up onto those left fingertips, and then exhale, can you twist a little through your chest? Look over the right shoulder. So this is a revolved version of our half moon, our Ardha Chandrasana. Some of you may want to reach and extend straight that right arm. Sparkle fingertips towards the sky, those right fingertips. One more breath. And then as you start to unwind, both fingertips to the floor, can you take your feet together? You're at the front of your mat, bend your knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale first, that spinal extension. It's a very subtle action, but create some space before you twist. Exhale, that faux twist to the left without hooking. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, a little bit of a twist to the left. Exhale, back to center. This time we're going to twist and we're actually going to hook the right elbow to the outer left knee. Look down, inhale, the crown of the head beyond the toes. Exhale, pressing palms to open the chest. Gazing over left shoulder. Even here, a little sip of breath will go a long way. Keep moving that prana, that energy through the body. Looking down, pouring weight into the left foot. Can you gracefully lunge the right leg back? Landing in your lunge leg twist. And if it didn't work out for you the first time, don't worry. Remember, we can always just take a moment and put ourselves in place. Relax the jaw. Relax the throat. Feel the breath moving, even that little bit of breath. Let's unwind. Fingertips frame the front foot. Inhale, create some length to the sides of your waist first. And then exhale, move towards straightening that left leg, whatever that means for you, as you descend the back heel down. Maybe the left toes are flexing towards the sky so that the sole of the left foot is actually up off the floor. And then one more time, inhale, create length through the torso. Exhale, let's fold into this. Find the scissoring action of the inner thighs. So we're always looking for that place, that balance between strength and flexibility, where both are actively involved. There's a bit of stretch, there's a bit of strength. Gaze up. stand into your left foot. Walk your fingertips forward beyond the front toes. Launch off the back leg. Take a moment to find your balance first. Try not to dump forward and fold into the left leg. You're actually lifting the chest up a little bit. Balancing on your fingertips. Left hand maybe coming to the shelf of your low back. Press the right heel behind you. Inhale, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, a twist to the left. Like before, some of you maybe are reaching the left fingertips all the way toward the sky as you straighten the left arm. Keep breathing. Start to unwind. Look down. Left fingertips to the floor. Rejoin the feet. Inhale, sit back. Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold all the way. One more time. Inhale, bend the knees, sit back. Exhale, stand all the way at the top of your mat. Release the hands by the sides. Close your eyes here for a moment. Draw in that person. We're practicing on our mat this karma yoga, this giving up the fruits of our actions to a person that really needs it. Send it out. Let it all go. Give it up. And then opening the eyes. Inhale, bend the knees. Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold all the way. Inhale, come half. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. 3-limbed downward facing dog. Can you balance your weight evenly between your 3 remaining limbs? Take one more breath. And as you exhale, step between the hands. Pivot the back heel down and windmill up to warrior 2. You're about heel to arch alignment, but adjust in any way that feels right for you, as turning the chest to the side of your mat as the arms extend out. Gazing beyond front fingertips. So feel the root of this through your feet. Start there. Legs are turning on in that right kneecap. It's like it's squeezing beyond the second or third toe to open through the right hip. Take one more breath. And then let's straighten the front leg. Let's reverse it. Lateral stretch. Breathe into the right side. And then come up and over that front thigh. Tuck the right hip as if underneath you and reach out through right fingertips. Let the hand drop down, that right hand to the inner right calf without reaching to the floor. Wherever the hand lands, it lands. The chest continues to rotate open. Left arm up, take the gaze with you. Try to straighten up your torso. So if you were to peek down, the crown of your head's actually pointing out beyond your front toes as you gaze up. Utthita Trikonasana for one more breath. And then as you come up, come all the way. Turn your right toes to face the side of your mat. Hands onto the hips. We're going to inhale, get nice and tall. Exhale, we're going to fold forward. We're going to take the hands to the floor and the left hand to center, right hand to the low back. Inhale, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, we're twisting the right chest open. Gazing over the right shoulder, maybe reaching up through right fingertips. As you do this, can you continue to draw your left hip back in space so the shelf of your low back stays that way. If I was to lay a glass of water on the sacrum of the low back, not one drop would spill. One more breath. And then as you start to release, simply switch. Right hand replaces left, left hand to low back. Inhale, crown of the head reaches forward. Create that space first, that elongation. And then exhale, rotating through the chest. Gaze follows. Left arm up. Feel the shoulder blades softening down the back. So there's lots of space for the neck. Last. Start to unwind. Then you crawl yourself back to the front of your mat, step back to plank, and then lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, and then right away left leg up. Finding your three-limbed version of downward facing dog. A final breath. And then exhale, step between the hands. Pivot the back heel down and windmill up into your warrior two. Virabhadrasana on the other side. Land your gaze. Feel your shoulders stacking over your hips. A gentle drawing in of the low ribs. Lift up through the crown. Nice. As you straighten the front leg, release the right hand to the back thigh. Take a reverse, laterally stretching into the left side, and then come up and over that front thigh. Tuck the left hip under, reaching out, extending length through the left side especially, and then just let the left arm drop down. Wherever it lands, right arm up. Feel that the knees are not locking out. There's energy here in the thighs, so pressing through the ball joints of the feet will help to activate the whole of your legs. Imagine equal space through right and left side rib cage. Nice. Look down for balance. And as you come up, turn the left toes in, and then facing again the other side now of your mat. We're going to inhale, hands on the hips, lift up through the crown. Exhale, folding forward all the way. Catch your fingertips on the floor. Inhale, reaching forward, lengthen first the whole of your spine, and then exhale from the hips, start to fold into this. Let the head go. Maybe the hands are not quite touching the floor yet. If that's the case, you can take the shins or hold the outer ankles. If the hands are on the floor, you can think about your chaturanga arms. So hands about shoulders width. Hug the inner elbows toward one another. Maybe your head comes all the way onto the floor, and if that's the case, I'll give an extra few breaths for anyone at home who's practicing tripod headstand. In tripod headstand, there's weight in the hands, weight in the arms. That's balancing out whatever is being held in the head. So we're alleviating any undue pressure in the neck. We're setting the shoulders up and away from the ears. If you're up, take your time and come back down. Let's all nod our head yes and no. And then start to walk the fingertips forward about halfway. Crawl back to the front of your mat. And then let's vinyasa together. Step back to plank. Lowering chaturanga. Upward facing, meeting in downward facing dog. Let's walk our hands back towards our feet. Inhale halfway. Exhale, hands onto the hips. And with a flat back, inhale, come all the way to stand. Very nice. Let's step our feet together. One-legged balancing. Hands onto the hips. Oh, here goes Ivy. Had to let the dog out. 1 second. Hands on the hips. Just stay there for a moment. Come on, Ivy. Come on. Whoa. The joys of practicing at home. Feet together. Hands on the hips. Start to balance. Feet into the left foot. And then draw the right thigh close toward the chest. You're going to hold the front of the right shin for a moment here. And then we're actually going to switch the grip. So you're going to take the left hand to hold the right shin. We're going to reach the right arm up, inhale. And then exhale, we're going to open into a twist. You can absolutely stay just like this, standing down into that left foot, lifting up through the crown, twisting through the torso and gazing maybe to the right thumb. Others of you may be reaching for the outer edge of that right foot and starting to straighten the right leg. And it doesn't have to be fully straightened, it could be partially straightened, of course. One more breath. And as you unwind your twist, just release, nice and slow, and that's it. Feet together. Maybe you give it a little shake out. Feet back together. Inhale, stand tall. Bend the left knee close towards you, and then catch the front of the left shin. Find your balance in your right foot. And when you feel steady, you're going to cross over. The right hand's going to hold just underneath the left knee crease, or left knee hinge. Inhale, the left arm up. Exhale, hips stay squaring forward as the chest opens into our twist. You can stay like this, standing down into the right foot, lifting up through the crown, moving a little more, maybe with each exhale, into that twisting action. Some of you may be reaching for the outer edge of that left foot. Make sure you lift the chest upright, and then start to maybe straighten the left leg. Wherever you are, holding your gaze. That's it. Think about the unwinding of the twist first. Back forward, and then gently let go of the foot if you had it. Release the leg down. Nice. One more little bit. Let's half sun salute to kind of rinse that out. Inhale, reach the arms around, look up. Exhale, folding forward all the way. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand down and rise up. Hands to heart. So we've been working a little bit towards this next shape, which is going to be a revolved version of our Bakasana, right? The crane pose that we often take. We've been doing warm-ups to make sure that we're well prepared to at least try this and see where it goes. Know that you can stop anywhere along the way and just breathe into your edge point. That's your point of initial resistance where you know you're not going to actively move deeper. You're going to just find the breath and see what happens, okay? So we'll do this nice and slow, out of a flow so that we have time to feel it in our bodies. We'll come down into a squat with the feet together. Inner thighs are going to be squeezing. Okay, inner thighs squeezing as if they could kind of touch each other and never, like you were holding a little piece of paper in between and you were never going to drop it, or a quarter between your knees, I think a teacher used to say to me. Left fingertips out to the left side. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Now, the more length you're able to get from your torso into your twist, the more chance you have of this working out, okay? So really elongate into your twist. You're going to start to wrap the right upper arm to the outer left thigh. Plant the right hand on the floor. Your left hand is going to go, it's like chaturanga arms, okay? Hug your elbows in, your knees are still facing forward. You're in a twist, and then you're going to come up into your tippy toes. Bend your elbows, make a shelf, and on that shelf, your left outer thigh is going to rest. There's nothing resting on this side on the upper left arm. It's the shelf of your right, it's like chaturanga arm, and that's where you're holding. So give that a go. Remember, as contained as you can be, as much as you can squeeze the inner thigh, squeeze it, because that's less room that you need to wrap around in order to find the twist, and then come up into the actual arm balance. Wherever you are, take a final breath or so, and then take your time, come on out. So the good thing is when we try something on one side, the second side is always a little bit easier, right? The mind kind of remembers. So let's hop a little bit over to the left side of our mat. Inner thighs together. Reach the left arm up. And as you twist, you're twisting with super space in the torso. Knees squeezing, facing forward. Hook the upper left arm to the outer right thigh and then plant the left hand on the floor. Right hand plants shoulders width apart. Elbows start to squeeze in. Think about chaturanga as you come up onto your tippy toes. And then make the shelf and balance This time, you're balancing the right thigh, upper right thigh to the shelf of your left arm. Give it a go. You might need to wrap and unwrap once or twice and just get a sense for how this feels. But remember, you're also stopping anywhere along the way that you need to, finding your edge. Take your time and come on out. Very nice. Let's simply plant the hands and step back to plank. Inhaling together from plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Bend the knees. Hopper step to seated. Very nice. Come all the way onto your back. From here, let's walk the feet somewhere close enough that maybe you can just tickle your heels with your fingertips. Sending energy down through the feet. One vertebra at a time. Can you start to roll up your spine? And as your hips extend, you keep lifting and extending the hips. You're kind of landing at that space between the shoulder blades. The head can relax down. Some of you may want to interlace the fingers behind the back. Close your eyes here. This is a beautiful heart opener as well. Such a wonderful time to maybe come back and draw that person, the person that you're dedicating this practice toward. Bring them into your heart again. You know they're always there, but let's just consciously again remember the dedication today of the energy of our practice. Hold that person in your heart. Release the hands, one vertebra at a time, starting between the shoulder blades to roll on down. Nice. Let's reverse that out with happy baby, either holding under the knees, the ankles, or just the outer edges of your feet. Some of you might like to rock a little from side to side. Feel your low back releasing down. Anchor the back of your sacrum to the floor and massage it out with a little rock. Back to center, legs in the air, elbows in by your sides. Some of you may stay just like this, simply legs in the air. Others of you will lift the low back, catch about mid back, but keep the weight of the shape in your elbows and your upper arms. Maybe move towards straightening the legs all the way, finding shoulder stand. We're only gazing to the toes or closing the eyes. We're never looking side to side here. Take your time. Move through piking the legs. Stay weighted in your elbows. Let your hands kind of slide down to the low back until you roll all your way out. Bend the knees in towards you, curling up into a tight little ball, forehead toward the knees. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then extend the legs forward. Let it all go in Shavasana. Shavasana will be 5 breaths only. Kind of like the same amount of time we've been holding all of our other static postures so that we have time to finish in meditation. Allow the breath to begin to slow down here. And then take the legs together. Bend one knee at a time in toward the chest. You can reach the arms up and overhead and just roll over to one side and take your time. Come on up into your meditation seat. It could be on the shins or it could be an easy cross-legged shape. Let's have the palms facing up. At the base of the spine, settle in. Feel the length of the spine moving right from the base through to the crown of the head. Shoulders relaxed. Jaw soft. Breath easy. And we're going to do a visualization meditation today since we're imbibing the Karma Yogi. Let's bring that vision of our person's face embedded into the depth of our heart. Deep, deep in the heart. Imagine that person's face. A shining glow. Imagine that person happy. Imagine that person safe, content. Feel all of this energy you've created moving toward that person, filling them up with your light. Joining the hands together at the heart center. Inhale, biggest breath through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale it all out. Inhale to Om. The divine light in me recognizes the divine light in you as being one and the same light. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining. Please reach out to me, yoga_Linds, LYNDS. If you have any questions, I'd love to chat with you. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye for now.